Greetings, everyone. It's an all you can get Gamecast. Tonight, we are three of four. Jim is not here, but I'm hosting Corey Feinsod. With me is Tony Korkanakis
Hey, hey, hey.
and Mike Snitty.
What's
Had
up?
to switch it up on you guys here. Yeah, unfortunately, Jim can't make it tonight. He was very disappointed. He has been playing a game that he wants to talk about. So stick around next week. He should be around to discuss it. But let's get into what we've been up to, and let's start with you, Mike. What have you been up to this week in the gaming world?
Yeah, mostly two things. I've been wrapping up some of the, optional stuff in Yakuza Kiwami 3. Um, do the optional super hard boss fight I just beat, and I finished the main story that has to do with the big side activity, the biker gang thing, which is new for this game. So I still mostly like the game despite its issues. I haven't done Dark Ties yet. That's probably next. And then otherwise, I've been playing. I moved on to another game and actually just finished it in my 2D Metroid thing. I wasn't gonna play this at first because it was kind of hard to get a hold of, but I played Metroid Samus Returns, the 3DS game from 2017.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah.
You're getting this Metroid 2D
Yeah,
phase here.
I think I'm probably gonna end up having to get Dread soon. But
There you
but no,
go.
I like this one. It's fairly modern. You got your spider ball, which I remember from the Prime games. Definitely some Prime vibes in this. And it was good. It was all these games are hard though, like pretty hard late in them. There's always at least one boss that's like, oh, this is bullshit. But um, I would say this one is generally easier than the others I've played, but there's still some things at the end where it's
Hmm.
like, oh, okay.
So how many
But
have you gone through then?
so started with Super Metroid, then I did Zero Mission, then Fusion, and then I just did this one.
Four.
Yeah, so Samus Returns,
Okay.
which is
Which
the
one is
remake.
your favorite so far?
It's hard to say. I mean, I probably either Super or this newest one, just because, so it's either the originator or the
The most.
latest. But we'll see what happens when I play Dread. I do know
Okay.
that there's some aspects of Dread that might be annoying to me with the whole getting hunted, because part of that was in Fusion, and I didn't necessarily appreciate
Hmm.
that much in in a game where I'm used to just exploring. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I like it. It's one of my old blind spots, the 2D Metroids that are not going to be a blind spot for me anymore. So I'm glad to have
Nice. So
gotten through
got
all
your
these. And
yeah.
I like them all. They're all good. They're all solid games.
It is pretty cool. Like you find like a series of games and then you just kind of run through them all. And you've
Yeah.
you did that with Yakuza. Now here we are with
Yeah, although
Metroid.
apparently with Yakuza, while doing Kiwami 3, I realized like I really do not pick up the details of these stories whatsoever. The way I played them, like there's like a character that apparently carries over from the end of the original 3 to 4, and then this was rewritten to be like different at the end of 3, and I didn't remember. I'm like, that
Hmm.
character's in 4? I'm like, okay, whatever you say. Angry people on Reddit who are mad about retcons. Sorry, I don't remember.
Well, I've been playing some more Borderlands actually. Borderlands had a content drop, which they added a little bit like a little side story, some bosses, and a new rarity, which is the Pearl rarity, which hasn't been in a Borderlands game since Borderlands 2, I believe. Which is the highest rarity guns you can get. They're usually like a less than 1% chance of dropping type of thing. But there's a bunch of people on the internet that were upset because there's a mission that you do and you're guaranteed one. And so they were very upset, like, because at first they're like, "Oh, what? I've got a pearl," and then they learned everybody gets one at the end of this mission. Um,
They
it's
only
always
get
always
that
gonna
because
complain,
they learned that everybody else got one. That's so
you
stupid,
know.
man. That is so
Uh,
stupid. Like, I'm
but
so
I
happy
mean,
I got one. Oh, you got one too? Fucking this is
but yeah,
bullshit.
but the content's good so far. It's been fun getting back into it, and there's gonna be a bigger content drop later this month. So the first big story DLC is coming. So I'm excited for that. So been back in the Borderlands.
So
Here we
already,
are.
you would say already it's better than 3 by the same point.
I mean, as
Hmm.
far as like the main story and the
Yeah, overall, like
content and stuff,
your
it's like I
personal
would say this
feelings.
is
The game,
better. Yeah, I think
Because
so.
you bounced off a 3 pretty quickly. I felt. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
you just didn't talk
yeah,
about it
that
for a
one.
long time. I was like, oh, okay.
It was just
is
the
this,
characters were just
Yeah.
not fun to
hmm.
be with and like to have time spend time with. So this is much better in that sense for sure.
Does this game have
Uh,
a healthy player base as of now?
it's fairly good. I wouldn't say it's great and where it would they would hoped it would be at this point, but this didn't have enough content to keep people around, and it's not a like a like an Arc Raiders or a Rivals, where or Fortnite. There's like constant things happening, and like every game you play is going to be different. This is just it is the same game still, so it's not like it's easy to keep people around as much as those types of games, I would say. But Tony, I know you've been playing a fun game that people have been talking about, and has been the big Steam concurrent player game this week.
Yeah. Game breaking records right now. Resident Evil 9, aka Requiem. I know Jim wanted to be here to talk about it, but we'll get his thoughts next week. He already beat it, which is farther than I think I'm about halfway. Trying to savor it because we only get this
Yeah.
every like 4 or 5 years. So I want to play it, but I'm not trying to rush through it. But yeah, this game is fantastic. Like any expectations I had have been met and or exceeded.
Mm.
The way you differ from the style between the two characters, the main two protagonists, is awesome because you really get like the thrill of much to Mike's dismay being hunted, but when you play as Grace and as Leon S. Kennedy, you're pretty much an action hero. People have done lots of memes where it's like when the game asks you to play as like Grace, and it's like her being all like timid and scared and like hiding from a zombie, and it's like when you play as Leon and it's a zombie hiding and crying while Leon's hunting
Yeah, I've seen
a
some good
zombie.
ones, like the
Yeah,
girl from Jurassic Park
yeah,
with the
yeah,
raptors,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
and then John Wick's just
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. So that is exactly how it is, and it works too because I don't know exact numbers, but I'll just say like you play an hour of Grace, and that is very intense. Like you are on the edge of your seat because you are not very powerful. You're not well equipped. The main character herself is scared out of her mind. And props to the voice actress. She did an interview, as a quick aside, where she said that Capcom tried to induce a lot of, in a safe way, she pointed out, in a safe way, a lot of things that Grace experiences so that she would get an authentic experience doing it. Like, so like being in the dark, being held upside down, or whatever. So I thought that was a really cool touch. Would have never known that if she didn't mention it in this interview. But so you play an hour of that, and you're like intense. Like it's like, oh my god, this is a lot. And then you get that like 30-minute of like, okay, I just get to kill zombies now as Leon. Like that's great. It's good pacing. So
right, it's like a little palate cleanse.
yeah, it's a palate cleanser. It's like the tempo. You're like escalating. It's like, whew. And man, there are so many parts where I'm like, I know what you want me to do already. I don't want to do this. Like, I need to like just chill for a minute, gather my thoughts, gather my composure. Let me look at the map for a second. Let me plan things out because I'm like, I know as soon as I hit this room, something's happening. Like, I know for a fact something is going to happen and start chasing me, and I'm gonna not like it. And very early spoiler, but there's a creature that how do I say this? If you're in the dark, it is absolutely terrifying. It is afraid. It's weak to the light, right? So you're like, oh, okay. Well, there's a couple rooms that are lit, and I'll just, be in there. The game fucked me by just straight up being like, oh, the light turned off in this room. It's like, what? Like,
Alan Wake.
it got me. It got me so good. I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding me right now? So yeah, it was just, it's very intense, but wonderful game. I could see why it's getting the accolades it does, and Capcom,
That's
like I said,
great.
they're just on a
On
roll.
fire.
Yeah, and the concurrent users even surpassed Monster Hunter Wilds last year. So expecting some Capcom press release this week about blah blah blah, number one best-selling title, this that and the other thing. And we'll get to it a little bit more with the news about.
Yeah, I know. Like You know it's a good game also when Jim actually finishes it immediately.
Right? I couldn't believe that. Like, I was like, "What? You already beat it?" Like, I know
Yeah,
he didn't have anything else
He
to
had a
do,
little
but like,
extra time,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. But I was just still like, "Oh, damn!" Like,
but he kept
usually Jim would take his time and save. Yeah, like,
yeah.
sometimes
Like
it takes a
like
little bit to.
Outlaw, what
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it? Outlaws, like that
yeah.
took him like
A
half a
little while.
year or
Yeah,
something. Harry Potter, he hasn't finished, like right. So it's like he's definitely a game is good when he's just like blitz through. It's like like this, and they can't stop. And yeah, he had some extra time that he had on his hands, but I I guarantee if this was Outlaws, he would not have like just been playing Outlaws the whole entire
no,
time.
for
He'd be
sure. And
so
it's a good
it
pace
makes
too.
me want to play it more,
Yeah,
knowing this.
exactly. And it's the 10 to 15 hour range, so it's a nice short romp. You don't have to dedicate 30, 40, 50 hours to an open world
Mhm.
experience. Parts are very linear. And I am playing on the Switch too, which I wanted to mention because I
Oh,
cannot
okay. I was
believe
gonna ask
how
you which
good this
I
looks.
assumed it was PC. So
No,
there I
no,
am
no.
thinking.
Just because I assume my brother is gonna get it on PC, and we
Uh,
do family share, so I'll have access
oh
to
yeah.
that. Um, and plus, I just want to support them Capcom trying a new platform day and date, just like Pragmata, because it's like like another series that I like or love, Final Fantasy, being beholden to the Sony exclusivity, hurt them
Yeah.
in the long run. And Capcom realized a long time ago, like, hey, we can't play favorites. We can't make sure that the winner stays the winner on top by default because it's in their not in their best interest to prop up our franchises. So gotta spread the love around a little bit. But other than the frame rate,
Cool.
because I think it's like about 30 to 40 depending on the scenes. It looks crazy. I cannot believe it is what it is comparatively. Like I talked about with the Switch One, where
Mm.
it's like you have those miracle ports like Witcher One and stuff, but like or Witcher Three, but it's like you knew you were playing a very very compromised version.
Right.
But now between Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed Shadows, this Outlaws, I mean it's crazy. Like the gap is just shrinking, and next gen, it's just
Have you
I don't
played a handheld?
no, I actually haven't. I should do that. I should do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, that's gonna be
Um,
even scarier. Just like holding in the dark. Like, oh man, I'll definitely
yeah.
try
I'm
that though.
curious.
Yeah,
All right. Interesting. Cool. So that's what we've been up to, guys. Let's move into some news
juicy
because
week, juicy week
you
again.
know
I'm surprised.
it is. It is. And for some reason, I don't like. Let's just start here with Bloodborne. We're
Let's
gonna
start with
start with
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
All right,
Bluepoint was the company we talked about last week getting
shut down.
um,
Yep.
shut down by Sony. They did a lot of remakes, like Last Guardian or something, right? Was that one that they did? Or no,
Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. Thank you. I don't know where Last Guardian goes. Did
And
they
they did
do like
Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow
Like,
That's the one I was trying to
yeah,
think of. Okay, but it's that same series of developers. So
yeah,
yeah, they did a bunch of remakes, which came out fantastic and looked great on the PlayStation 5. And they had pitched a Bloodborne remake. They were like, let's make a Bloodborne game. But FromSoftware didn't want to do it. They didn't want them to do it.
yeah. So this is coming from Jason Schreier, just as an FYI
Hmm.
background. So I firmly believe this. And the way
Yeah.
he explained it in his newsletter, I believe it was that Bluepoint, after their games as a service God of War game got shut down, like we talk about, you can't have a studio of 100 people or more just be like, hey, we're not working on a game, right? Because that is the biggest like like spender of money because it's like, oh, what are we paying all
Right.
these people
What
to
are you
do,
doing?
right? So they had to come up with another project real quick. So they pitched a couple different ones. I want to say they pitched something else, but one of them, of course, was this Bloodborne remake. And Sony apparently went to FromSoftware for their approval, which is interesting because technically Sony owns it, but I believe this is one of those like Japanese company business honor thing where it's like, hey, we would like to do this
Right.
remake, but we want to ask for your blessing, kind of thing. And that's when FromSoftware said no. Miyazaki said no, so the project was obviously not greenlit, and
And without a
they couldn't
game,
come up with anything else. So yeah, that
yeah.
was it. Which is kind of crazy because I haven't played the Demon Souls remake myself. That game I tried on the PS3 way back in the day, and it just like people want to talk about the modern From Software games being hard. That one was oh god, that was like so archaic. Like I couldn't do it. I don't think. But apparently, people are saying that they probably weren't that happy with the remake for multiple reasons, and that's why they refused it for the Bloodborne. Slash, also being like Miyazaki. Apparently, what was his? Who is the Sony former exec? Yoshida, right?
Oh,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah. He had done an interview last year where he said Bloodborne is Miyazaki's favorite personal project out of all the FromSoftware games, and he was assuming under whatever he knows that if there was going to be a Bloodborne remake in any capacity, he needed to be involved in that. And they're just too busy with Elden Ring / Dustlords / whatever else they're working on that they didn't have time for it. So, very unfortunate, because I'd love to see that. Obviously, even a remaster just on and a PC port would do wonders, but it sucks, man.
Yeah. And that might shed some light on why we haven't seen it too. Is just like Miyazaki doesn't that's his baby, and he wants to be the one to kind of bring it back or be involved in it, and it just hasn't happened. And yeah, I can understand that. It's just unfortunate for the fans because everyone would love it.
I just wish they would obviously say something about it, even if they know it's not going to be for a while, just be like, hey, we hear you. There's nothing to report right now, but obviously it's something that we all look forward to as both fans and the company itself. But just nothing. It's just radio silence, and that's one of those frustrating things Nintendo does a lot, where it's like, hey, what's happening to XYZ series, and you don't hear about it for a decade.
This is FromSoftware, so the story isn't said out loud. You have to sift through stuff to figure it out yourself.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking the Sony side of things, right? Because there's no way you're a Sony exec at any capacity and you haven't been asked about a Bloodborne remake at this point. It's probably their most notorious fan-centered project game release on the PS4, other than obviously Last of Us, which is widely acclaimed. But
well, wasn't Bloodborne PS3 game?
No, PS4.
Oh, it's both PS4. Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe I was thinking they did. Okay,
Demon's Souls is a PS3 game.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Any case, talk about a game that doesn't exist anymore. Let's go with Highguard because that's getting shut down. This is who didn't see that coming?
Yeah.
It's pretty quick though. I expected it to try a little longer and harder.
Concord didn't try either. So
I thought this was going to be better than Concord by a little bit.
This looked even worse than Concord, and I hated what Concord looked like. So
did you play this at all? It was fine.
No, and it wasn't even. It was not even I didn't have to pay for this one either, and I still didn't want to play it.
I did play it a little bit for one day. It's a little sad because there's almost something there. I mean, it felt like a beta, and still feels like a beta. But
well, the thing is, did you read that Jason Schreier article about it?
No, I don't read. Remember?
I mean, I know you don't read books, but I was hoping you might read articles that get posted every now and then. But the way that it read was that the upper leadership, once again, wanted to do Apex Legends 2 Electric Boogaloo in the fact that, hey, we're not going to tell people about it. We're not going to try to build up excitement. We're just going to release it, and word of mouth is going to get it. And it's like, bro, maybe that worked last decade when Apex Legends launched. But in 2026, you cannot afford that, right? And we talked about the bullet points from last week, where it's like, you already have established winners in this games as a service live action or live service action model, right? Where it's like, you have Fortnite, you already have Apex Legends, you weren't competing with yourself back then, right? And that's in addition to Call of Duty, Battlefield, now Arc Raiders. The market is so saturated with these games, and that's aside from anything else that's PC oriented, like Repo, Phasmophobia, all these other games again that get content updates regularly. So it's a whole different world / ball game, whatever analogy you want to use. And their leaders are like, no, we don't need public testing, we don't need public betas, we don't need marketing, anything like that. We're just gonna release it end of January, and people are gonna love it. It's like,
got to sell Jeff on it. That's all.
And that's the other thing.
Didn't work.
The other thing is, I think Jeff actually hurt the game, despite putting so many eyes on it.
Absolutely.
It was too much attention, right? It was way too
Right.
much attention, and people were pissed from day one, like day zero, like that first minute after they were released. People were already like in chat. Remember, I remember Concord 2,
Yeah.
Concord 2, Concord 2. Like that's all people were focusing on, and it was kind of sad. Like obviously, I'm not happy that a game is closed. I'm not happy that a studio is being closed, but like man, they just made a lot of bad decisions, and this is the result we have.
Yeah, and the thing was like once they saw the bad press or they saw people like questioning what was going on, they
They didn't
still
do anything.
didn't
Yeah, it was
come out
radio
and
silence.
say
Remember,
anything.
like 2 weeks
Yeah,
before launch, we're like, nothing has
yeah,
been on the
like
official
hey, like
Twitter. Yeah, like what?
there's nothing, and that was like that was telling to me. It's like okay, so do you not believe in your product?
Yeah,
Because then like why aren't you coming out to defend it? Why don't you just coming out with like a trail, another trailer, or like a feature on
they
the characters, like something to get people excited again? Because there was some excitement from people at the Game Awards,
yeah.
but not much maybe, but some people thought it was cool, and then you get the other side. So come out and just kind of like once you do that, and we know it's coming in a month, start blitzing like that. Now's your time. Like
They
yeah, it
needed
didn't make
to
any sense.
after that, like showing. They really needed to be like, okay, some people aren't taking this serious, or a good portion, whatever. We need to get like streamers on this and showing like, hey, people, this is actually like solid foundation here. Like
Right.
it's fun, it's good, whatever. There's hope, there's promise. They didn't do that. It was just absolute radio silence. You had the reveal, and then weeks of nothing, nothing, and then
People were questioning, are they even still working on this game?
yeah,
Like, does this actually exist?
yeah.
Like,
They thought it was
what's
vaporware.
happening?
Remember? Like I remember seeing
Yeah.
threads like, oh, is this vaporware? Like, is this fake? And so it's just it's sad. It's sad, and I
Yeah.
feel bad for anybody who obviously those people were talented. They worked on games that were
Good games.
good
Yeah.
games, great games. But
Listen, if again, having played it, if they thought a little more, actually, like maybe tested it with, I don't,
Had a
I mean,
beta?
focus tested
well,
it. Yeah,
that's what
had
I'm
a
saying.
beta,
Yeah, that's what I'm
did all
saying. They
that
needed
stuff.
that. Yeah,
They could have built this into something pretty cool. I feel like, but it's not there, and it's never
Yeah.
gonna get there now.
yep.
Yep. It's gone. It's dead. And speaking of games like this, just I don't think it's in the news here, but like Marathon did have a server slam.
I was surprised you didn't play
Yeah,
that. I was
that
expecting
was
it.
I
that was
didn't
my
have time. I really wanted to, but I didn't have time to get to it. I really wanted to play it. I couldn't get time. The server slam happened, and then a lot of people tried to return the game. So we
Like I said,
shall see
man,
what happens.
I don't think it's gonna be a flop like Concord or like Highguard now. But again, I
It's
don't
gonna be
think
the death nail
yeah,
for
I
Bungie.
I don't
I
think it's
gotcha.
gonna be the breadwinner that Bungie
We shall
slash Sony
see.
needs it to be.
Yeah, they really need a winner here.
Right.
They need some.
And
Yeah.
and that's the other thing is too is like you're coming out with another shooter, right? And it's like you already have a game that is fulfilling that niche, right? You have Destiny 2, which apparently is on life support. I don't know, whatever. But like,
Yeah.
so is your plan to transition people from Destiny 2 to Marathon? Or are you trying to siphon people that exist in other games like Call of Duty, Battlefield 6? Are you trying to pull people away from arc raiders now? Like, what is it? Like, what is your strategy here? What is your plan? I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah. No, especially because they do seem to be very different games, and I don't know how much crossover there will be because like the PvP aspect of Destiny is still probably the only thing that's keeping it alive,
Mm-hmm.
as well as it's also the thing that's kind of killing it too. So it's like it's weird
Right, and
balance there,
and so that's the other
but
thing
they're
too,
very different
right?
games.
Like again, I only played Destiny 1 for like the first, I don't know, 6 months or whatever, but I just don't see how Bungie can operate running Destiny 2, right, and their content updates and a second game Marathon. Like
Remote.
I just don't
No,
understand it, right?
no.
Like I said
Marathon needs a lot more attention.
right.
I think
So you're killing, the old.
one of them's gonna kill the other one for sure.
I think it. I
It's
think
gonna probably be
I think
Marathon killing
Marathon's killing
Destiny.
both of them. Unfortunately, that's my
Probably in
prediction.
the end.
I don't want it to
Yeah.
be true, but also fuck Bungie.
Well, well, for
The
PlayStation
closest I can
fans,
see is that, sorry, is that it's meant for people who like extraction shooters who want a colorful aesthetic.
Yeah, sure. Maybe it's the art style. Like I get it.
That's
well, I
about
don't
it.
know. Like, I think it's
That's
gonna
about it.
be for people that want more PvP in their extractions shooting.
I
Because
mean, you
it
can
does seem
kind
to
of
be much more
choose to do
focused
that.
on
Yeah,
PvP.
yeah,
So, but
maybe.
yeah. But if you are a PlayStation owner, you are going to be getting a space game, another space game here, because Starfield is coming. Hey, oh, Mike, are you excited?
Woo!
Play Starfield again?
If there's an actual decent amount of new content, I'll play it again. Listen, playing Outer Worlds too. Every now and then, I'm like, I kind of wish I could go in my own ship and customize it and actually go to space and do some
Hmm,
Starfield stuff here. So yeah, I still would play that again if there was a decent update. I'm not going to buy the whole game again on PlayStation. No reason to do something stupid like that. Actually, I never really bought the game. Played it on Game Pass.
there you
Um,
go. You
but
could buy it for the first time. But it is
yeah,
coming out April 7th of this year with pre-releases starting in a few weeks.
What's
So,
crazy to me is
I'm
that after
curious
all this
curious to
time,
see what they add.
what's
yeah.
curious to me is all this time, at least in the release I saw for this announcement, there's no talk of that rumored big update or whatever that
Hmm.
they're making. I don't know if it's them or the fans who are
There
stuffing
was
hopium.
a
Uh,
list of things I saw like accompanying this, but it wasn't like too
A major
extensive.
update.
Well, they're trying to do some stuff with like space flight and loading screens and stuff that people have complained about, but that's not that interesting to me, honestly. So we'll see what else
Hmm.
there is.
Quality of life would be, a good thing to focus on.
Yeah,
But again, we'll see. PlayStation though is like the only thing we got, right? I mean, Xbox doesn't exist anymore, so well, we have obviously Switch, but they're kind of different audiences. Although the gap is getting smaller, like you said, Tony.
yep.
We are getting another God of War game, but it's not God of War. It might be the Goddess of War. I don't like. What are we
this is
thinking?
a
It looks
rumor.
like we have a game based off of Faye.
Mhm.
Is that
Hmm.
right, Mike? What do you know
Yes,
about this?
Faye, not Freya, which I got tripped up with a little bit. Freya is the character you see a fair amount in both games. Faye is the one you don't see at all in the first game, and a little bit in flashbacks in the second. That's the Norse wife of Kratos, who, um,
Is it
I guess, spoiler
Atreus'
for the
mother,
first
right?
like 5 minutes of the 2018. Yeah, she's not really there anymore at that point. Yeah, I
So
don't know.
this is the new game from the original God of War creator Cory Barlog, or something, I think his name
Barlog,
is
yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
Barlog. Yeah.
And was rumored to be a sci-fi theme, but it's actually, a God of War universe game, which would
Hmm.
feature Faye. Gameplay is said to offer, you know, differ from the Norse God of War games with more of a focus on action, which I thought those were action games.
Yeah,
So
I
not sure
don't
what that
particularly
means. The
understand what
plan
that means.
is to reveal this year with a release early next year.
I
I
mean,
mean, so
I like.
action game is a different. So when I think of action game, I think of like Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, stuff like that.
Oh,
God of War
okay,
and stuff.
gotcha.
Bloodborne. We're gonna talk about that. Elden Ring. I classify that as action RPG, right? Where you have
Hmm.
um, wide move set, but like it's a lot about like stats and equipment. And honestly, that's for me because I like the original God of War on PS2. I was used to that style, and then when God of War 2018 came out, I was like, oh, like it's fun, but I anything with
It's a different
equipment
game.
leveling,
Yeah.
I hated running into the first enemy, and it's like, oh, he's higher level than me, and he could two shot me. Like, get the fuck out of here! What are you talking about? That was the dumbest thing to me. But yeah, so if this is the direction they're going and it's more action oriented, I'm for it. And
Mm.
maybe it is
So yeah,
maybe it's a
more
space
about a
game.
skill based instead of stat based.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe this is a space. Maybe this is Faye in space, right? Like I don't know. I'd
Maybe.
be down for it.
Yeah.
Um, and again, I tried to. I don't know if you've been spoiled now who the actress is, if she would be coming back. I'm assuming she would from Ragnarok, but makes it a little more interesting, I would
Are
say.
you going to spoil it for us? Is that a big spoiler? 'Cause I don't know who you're
The
talking about.
actress?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
if you're playing Ragnarok and you didn't know, you'd be like, "Oh, that's cool." So that's why I haven't told you guys, but
oh, okay.
you might know already anyway. But
I think you can
uh,
just spoil it. It's Ragnarok's 3 years old now.
Yeah, I don't
4 years?
think so.
Oh,
That's fine. Yeah, I
yeah.
respect it, but
Who
no.
who is it,
well,
Mike?
it's Deborah and Wall,
Oh, Karen from
Karen,
Daredevil.
Karen from Daredevil. Yes. So I'm assuming if they're gonna make a game with this, they're gonna get her to be her again, which would be kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see her leading a game. But I don't know. It's interesting also that you don't really experience too much with her other than like, oh yeah, she
She
left
got
all these
fridged.
gold
Yeah.
messages for you. But it was her axe first, and so you figure she does fight a bit, and I guess she did fight Thor when he was drunk too, and then the other stuff. There's all this lore that you have to remember, kind of, but
Well, she fought
we'll see how
Kratos
it
too
goes.
before they got married.
I guess so. I don't remember that part, but I guess so. Um, so we'll see how this goes. But people don't seem to be too happy with it, and honestly, I would kind of like a straight sequel more than this, but whatever. Something.
I mean, people are getting mad 'cause, like, first of all, they're being spoiled. Like, the answer is quasi spoiled because by somebody tweeting it out,
Yeah,
right?
it's not. This
Instead
is
of
like a leak, basically.
right,
This
it's
is
like a
not
leak.
a real
Second
thing.
of all, you get the online chuds who are like, "Oh, it's a woman. There's no goddess of war." It's like, all right, man, sure. Like, I guess you've never paid attention to any mythology whatsoever, but sure. So yeah, and I can understand it, right? I mean, even when God of War 2018, I think was first rumored and talked about, like they talked about the tonal shift, right? And people were mad
Hmm.
then, but then
People
once
are
the game
still
came
mad.
out, yeah, exactly, sure. I mean,
And like,
it's
oh, he's
give
got
or
a
take.
kid. What's
Yeah,
this? This is gonna be stupid. And
yeah,
I
this
remember that
fucking
too.
SJW, blah blah. So whatever. People are getting me mad. It does suck that it came out this way, because apparently it is going to
Hmm.
be shown off later this year. I'm assuming around Summer Games Fest time, the formerly E3 era. So, and
Yeah.
supposedly released next year in 2027. So, just a couple months away.
Yeah, no, it is unfortunate that you don't get to reveal it the way you
You want to
wanted to
reveal
and
it, right?
present it the way you wanted to
Well,
present it, because now it's just gonna have speculation
there's
and maybe
there's
have
still a little
misinformation.
reasonable
But
doubt about this, though. I would say.
Is it?
mm,
It's why?
I mean, I don't know where. I don't know if this was real yet.
seemed pretty legit.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, this is coming from a couple different sources, but then Nate the Hate too uh, is also posted about it, which has been
He's been pretty
pretty
right for the
consistent.
past, I don't know,
Yeah.
3 years at least.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Well, we also I don't know if you guys want to talk about the Warner Brothers fallout with the Paramount and how it impacts games. That's on here as well in the news.
Yeah. If you're a fan of Warner Brothers games, sorry,
Yeah.
Rocksteady, you're done.
Steady, has
Yeah.
been dead as far as I'm concerned
I
for
mean, when you're talking about
5
cutting
years.
$6 billion worth of costs, and your focus is not in the video game department, I see a
Well,
lot
that's
of that.
again going back to the co-CEO. He said like we looked at their books, we were valuing the games division like as like nothing, like not as an insult, but like we had no evaluation of it, right? Like so now that the new company has all this debt and all this money that they need to cut the $6 billion or whatever it was. We've talked about it for years now. Game industries, especially when you own companies in the U.S. and or Canada, in the expensive cities, those are the first ones to go. Those are the most expensive people to keep around. So like, yeah, good luck. Sucks.
Yep. No, I can definitely see them selling off, if not just straight out closing most of their studios. Like,
I don't think it's to be a sell.
what?
I think it's going to be gutting. Like, just shut down the studio. Fuck it.
Do wonder if they can be
Like,
like under the radar for a
who
while.
who who else are you selling to, dude? Like, all right, let's go down the list. Microsoft, they're not in any
No.
position. It sounds like they're closing down Xbox, right? Okay, so let's go down the list. That's the biggest third party publisher, right? Let's go down to number 2, EA, right? Oh, EA just got bought out by the Saudis. They don't have fucking capital, right? Number 3, Ubisoft, who had to like do this weird handshake deal with Tencent over like co-ownership of Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and all that shit. They don't have the money. Do you think Sony just laid off Bluepoint? Who could you just do remakes and they close them down? They're not going to do it. Nintendo's not going to
They
do
might
it.
do it. I think Sony is most likely. Sony's going to be the only console and left.
Well, like it makes no sense. Like they didn't have to pay these people to make games. They just released the games. Like it doesn't make sense. And especially you look at the pedigree, it's like you guys couldn't even launch Suicide Squad successfully, and we're gonna spend billions of dollars on your studio. Like, no, that doesn't make sense. Again, they bought Bluepoint for what, $4 billion in the pandemic. That's chump change. Warner Bros. Isn't gonna sell them for $4 billion. Sony's not gonna want to buy for $4 billion. What do you have? What, because they don't have the IPs. It's you're buying a studio that didn't even make one successful live service game. They're not gonna have the Batman license. So what are you buying the studio for? Doesn't make sense.
So yeah, so Rocksteady's gone. Who else? Else they have? They have
Well, no, I'm
Harry
most
Potter.
interested in NetherRealm, really. Like,
Well,
what happened?
NetherRealm for sure. You know, what do you think's happening to NetherRealm, Mike? Like,
I don't.
what do
I
you
think
want? What would you like for that? What do you want them to get bought out? What do you think?
I don't know. I would like them to stick around in some fashion. I do think they are working on Injustice 3 because people have
Not
leaked that they've been.
Not if they're gonna get sold off. They won't be.
Oh man.
Well, I
Mike,
think it's essentially done, but we'll see.
So all right. So they have this. There's Avalanche Studios, which is the Harry Potter legacy. I think they did that.
They're interchangeable with like any studio that doesn't exist. I don't really care.
Then they got NetherRealm. They got Potkey Games, which have they made? Oh, they're also Harry Potter. So okay, no, they're the Harry Potter legacy people. With maybe they support Avalanche to do it.
Yeah, they probably support.
They
Probably that
have
dumb British game.
TT Games,
Telltale.
which is the.
Is that the Lego?
Oh, yeah. TT is
Traveler's Tales.
Traveler's
Tales.
Yeah.
Then they got their, WB Games, Boston, Montreal, New York, and San Francisco studios.
Those are all gone.
Montreal.
I think those, yeah.
I think they're pretty much done. Imagine that.
The Harry
I
Potter
really,
one probably is safe because of the Harry Potter
TV
HBO
show
series.
Yeah.
They want to sell a new product, and I mean that was one of the best sellers that year, unfortunately. So I think that studio's safe, but anything else, doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, NetherRealm.
It was weird because apparently, who's the CEO of NetherRealm?
Ed Boon.
Ed Boon, yeah. Apparently, Ed Boon recently on Twitter or Blue Sky, one of the two.
He mentioned Killer Instinct.
He mentioned how would you bring back Killer Instinct, and it's probably like absolutely too much reading to that, but like it's like okay, maybe Phil Spencer penned the deal to buy NetherRealms for Microsoft to do Killer Instinct, but that seems so weird to me that I think
NetherRealm does produce regularly like the best-selling like fighting series, so there's value there for sure, but I don't know who values
maybe like an Amazon or something buys them.
Amazon?
And then they
Amazon?
shut them down.
They just shut something else down, dude. What are you talking about?
I know. I'm just saying. I'm spitballing here, man. I'm just saying. And then I said they will probably shut them down. Like I think wherever NetherRealm goes, if they do go somewhere else, they probably get shut down in a year or two. They make one game and then they're done. One and done.
I don't see that happening. It's
not going to be Injustice. That's the problem, and that's the thing is it's not going to be Injustice because Warner Brothers is not going to be their own owner anymore. So, it's just, and I don't think Ed Boon can afford to buy them out and run it himself as an independent. There's no way.
That would be funny if he could, but yeah, I don't think he's worth that much.
Yeah, and then Rocksteady absolutely is just gone. There's
They're gone.
They're gone. They were dead on arrival with Suicide Squad. That game killed them.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys.
Depressing time.
Was there good times with Warner Brothers all around, games and movies and all? Was there anything else that you guys saw? I know, like there was some stuff out there that wasn't necessarily on the news this week, but
Sony's done with PC.
Yeah, there was that. We could talk about that, but Jason Schreier also threw it. Was it Jason Schreier? Yes. Question mark. Yeah, Jason Schreier. Yeah. Jason Schreier basically put out on his on a podcast. That's why I was confused. I was like, he always publishes a Friday.
It wasn't through Bloomberg. It was like a podcast.
Yeah, it was through a podcast. But he's like, what I heard is that Sony's done with their PC plans, right? For whatever reasons that I can't talk about just yet, but those are changing, right? And this spawned a whole thing on I think Thursday or whatever because I don't know, slow news week for a little bit, right? You only had the
Mm-hmm.
studio closure the week before and Xbox dying the week before. But it's interesting because all these people came out of the woodwork to kind of support this. Like Nate the Hate, again, talking about it. He's like, yeah, I can confirm this is exactly what I heard too. I just didn't want to be the one to say it, right? Because
Right.
dashing hopes and dreams of millions of PC gamers across the world. But yeah, it seems like for whatever reason, most likely they're not seeing the returns that they want to see from their first party releases. But
Yeah.
the third party, like, not the third party, the live service stuff makes sense to be day and date.
Right.
But
I saw some number. I don't know if there's anything behind it. It's like Spider-Man 2 was like 15 million on PlayStation and 800,000 on the PC release. Like,
yeah,
I could see it.
I would believe that. But again, and that's kind of what we've been saying too. Is like by the time Sony waits this typically around 18 months, sometimes 24 months, depending on the game, to release a port on PC, they're doing so at close to full price, if not full price. And people like it's kind of been played out already, where it's like, oh, like this isn't new and exciting anymore, even though to them it should be. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, I could get this on a PlayStation for like $10 or $20. Why am I going to pay $50 on
50,
release?
yeah.
Not to mention the quality of those ports were not good. If you remember, like the Last of Us Part One, like we were memeing about that. I was sharing the memes. Like it's like, what is this? Looking at
Their face was all
the
like
face
gone.
was all garbage. So like, it'd be one thing if they got the PC ports down pat and justified the
seems
full
like they
price.
don't spend the money on it.
Well, right, that's the thing because they had to develop a second product, and it's a shame because I honestly feel if they had put day and date Spider-Man 3 or Last of Us 3, whatever it was, they would see a good portion of those sales coming from PC now. Coincidentally, Capcom just released their investor results for the past quarter, and as part of the Q&A, they're like, hey, how's PC doing? And they're like, PC is doing great. Half of our sales come from PC, and we expect that number to grow over the next few years. Resident Evil 9, like I was just talking about, launched to like 330,000 concurrent users on Steam because it was day and date released on that platform. Because they supported it. It wasn't just like, hey, this is the first one. They started with, I believe, Resident Evil 7 and worked their way up over the years. It wasn't just like, hey, we tried this for 2 years and we're all out of ideas. Didn't work. We're going home, packing up our bag, like done. So I mean, I guess something came out of Sony that they didn't want, and I did see somebody speculate that because the next Xbox, if it does come out, is going to be a machine that launches Steam, it would be a way where Microsoft/Xbox can now tell, oh, you can play Last of Us Part 3 or God of War 2027 on an Xbox. And I feel that kind of scared them off, even though right now you and I we know that that's not really a threat anymore. But by the time these plans get inked, this Xbox was probably still seen as somewhat of a competitor. But
yeah,
I don't know.
We'll see. If they just release some day and date, I think they would do so much better. But
I don't want to do that.
Here we are.
They sell the hardware. I mean,
no, we get that, but like here's the thing, and what was it the other week? PlayStation 5 is trailing just a little bit, like a couple single-digit million units behind PlayStation 5, right? Software pretty much the same way. Games are getting more expensive, right? We talk about it all the time, right? You look back at the Insomniac hack, where even they were like, we were spending so much money on this game. Are we even making the difference? Like, consumers are they going to be able to tell the graphical difference, even though this is costing 3 times as much as Spider-Man 1 did? Right? So, like, games are getting more expensive, but you're not selling to more PlayStation
are
users.
they really getting more expensive this gen from last gen? Because I know that, some games are, like, I think Ghost of Yote is actually cheaper to make than Tsushima. I think they said they, like, lowered that.
How?
Because they weren't as aggressive with what they're doing.
I think
it was
there
similar,
could be games that might be,
and I know that
around the same price.
Games are starting to do that now because I know that they said the Control would be like the budget is less for Control 2 than it was for the first Control. Like things are going down now because they're.
I honestly think
That's
in general things are going to go down. I
there's
think in
I think
general they're
that's
sure.
the new
going
strategy
up because like development costs
because
go
we're
up.
not. But they don't need to right now because we're not really doing wholesale different things like one generation to the next. We're at like a sort of a plateau, I think, technically for these
Sure.
last two
Yeah, I
generations.
don't disagree with that. But again, you look at the Insomniac hack, and they even had like Last of Us numbers in there. The budget for Last of Us 1 was like, what, like 100 million? And I think for Last of Us 2 was like 300 million. Like it went up three times as much. So, and even now,
Oh,
we're
those are
looking at Naughty
that
Dog.
was a bigger
It's been
leap, though.
6 years, or how long has it been? It's Last of Us 2, Corey,
Oh, wow, that's been a while.
right? Like
Yeah, I don't
29,
remember.
2020? Was it the pandemic?
It might have been before, or let's see. I'll look it up because I'm curious. Last of Us 2 release date 2020. Yep, June 19, 2020.
So it's been over 6 years. They still don't have Interstellar out, right? And we're just talking about the biggest source of like cost to these games development is the people. So 6 years of development, like it's not getting cheaper for people. It's not getting cheaper to pay people. Sure, anything you might gain in technology by reusing the same engine, sure, but like you're still having to pay people more. You're still having to promote more people. Like it doesn't make sense. You need more people to make these games, not less games. So while maybe Control could do it, but that studio is like way different on a scale than Naughty Dog or Insomniac or Sony Santa Monica. And again, you look at Sony Santa Monica, like what
Do you think
was
Ragnarok had a higher budget than the 2018?
yeah,
I think it's probably
absolutely.
comparable.
I think that was covered in the Insomniac hack. I could look it up afterwards, but they clearly outlined all these budgets went up, and that's what was related to the conversation. Are people even going to notice the graphical differences?
Yeah, well, that was the problem. And then you have something like, Expedition 33 that barely spent, $10 million and, sold everything. I think people are reevaluating how much they want to put into these little things there.
If
Yeah,
Sony,
God of War 2018 budget was anywhere from 44 million to 150 million, whereas God of War Ragnarok was over 200 million.
yeah,
Okay.
so the numbers aren't numbering, the math isn't mathing, um, and that's why we
Yeah.
saw Jim Ryan the pivot Sony away to all these games as service games. They're like, we might make millions of dollars here. We can make billions of dollars with games as service, and obviously that did not
Well,
pan
the thing
out.
is, like, you don't make money on hardware.
Right,
You
you
make
don't.
money on software.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yeah, but you
like,
make
the
money on
more
hardware
software
with
you
your
sell, the more money you
services
can make.
attached to it, though. I mean,
Right,
at this point.
Sure.
right,
I mean,
but
you're just,
that's the point I'm trying to make. Sorry to cut you off, Corey. Is like Spider-Man One was, I think at the time of release, was the fastest selling Sony exclusive, right?
yeah.
Probably sold I think 20 something million by now. And then when Spider-Man 2 came out, they're like, this is the fastest selling game ever, and probably around that same figures. But again, they're not selling substantially more than the previous iteration to justify those budget increases. So the hardware is staying stagnant sales wise. The software sales are staying stagnant software wise. Something has to change. The calculus has to change there. And like, sure, we could talk about budgets, reducing budgets a little bit, but like, I don't think we're talking about going from 200, 300 million to like 100, like maybe 300 to like 250 or 200. Like, it's just, the numbers aren't going to make.
Well, listen, again, the numbers, they know the numbers and they chose this decision. And
Sure, yeah,
they,
absolutely.
they know more than we do, I think, about their own numbers. So they didn't see it working. I
No,
don't know
sure,
why.
absolutely. I'm not saying that, but like, I'm also saying they're not infallible. Clearly, with Concord,
Yeah.
and Bluepoint, like they're just they've closed so many studios, and they're clearly like the winner in this PlayStation versus Xbox generation. This is their most profitable generation ever, and they're closing as many studios as Microsoft has done. So I don't know what else there is to say. Games are not getting cheaper.
Yeah, it's tough out there for a pimp.
A pimp, yeah. PlayStation pimp.
Okay.
Let's go with the story here with the any case, guys. Yeah, let's wrap it up here. We've had some unfortunate news here in video game worlds. There are some exciting things to look forward to, but there's a lot of bad stuff out there. But I will say, play Resident Evil 9. I'm gonna do that as well.
You
It
are?
seems like it's a
Wow.
good game.
Wow.
I got to now. I mean, if it's a weekend game, Jim can beat it in a weekend. I actually gotta find time now, but I'm gonna definitely try it.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm
I
like,
want to
watch
talk
what you
about it
say
because
here.
it sounds exactly like what I would love in this game, and that was one of my most anticipated as well. So, gotta check it out. But check us out every Tuesday live. We do this on Twitch, but we have our stuff on YouTube afterwards, and any podcast service you can think of, we should be there as well. Send us a note, subscribe, like all those good things, and we will see you next week.